it's the mystery box time of the month again, but we're not doing this one this time. We'll be doing that later on. We will be doing this one, which is the curated yet random assortment of products box, which is lovingly known as the C.R.A.P Box. This has been created by Unmanned Tech, who are a UK-based supplier. They do sort of things from hexcopters all the way down to tiny whoops, and they've decided to do their own mystery box, which they have lovingly called the C.R.A.P Box. Well, it's a bit of British humour. So this box is slightly different to the normal mystery boxes because it's not a subscription. You can buy these whenever you like. They do come out each month, but they are the boxes you can buy on a monthly basis, and they have a different theme. So this is, I think, a 5-inch and 7-inch sort of normal quad box. I think next month they're doing a tiny wood box. And the other big difference is, instead of it being a subscription, is that if you're unhappy with the contents of this box, they will refund you the money, which is pretty good. Now this box is $39.99 plus shipping, so it comes out about £43–44 for the box. That's slightly more than the drone bit offering. So we'll see what it does. Now, those of you who haven't been here when I've done a review of one of these boxes, I review them again on pound for pound value. I review them on usefulness, e.g. usefulness to me, so it's very subjective in terms of my situation of what I'm looking for. And I also review them on coolness, which is very subjective in terms of whether I think it's cool or not. I have some standard rules on that, but I'll put those in the links later on. So without further ado, let's open this box up and see what's inside. Okay, so let's open this up. So let's see what we've got. Right. Okay, so lots of foam. Okay, so lovely. Okay, so we've got the stickers for the C.R.A.P box, which are quite amusing. Obviously, a turd with an FPV goggles on it. Nice. So what have we got in here? So we have some cables, some short cables, some heat shrink. So these would probably be for a ESC, so we've got 4 of those, so 4 bits of those, so useful bits and pieces there. We've got some Haribo sweets, love Haribo sweets. We've got some stick protectors, so some nicely 3D printed stick protectors. We've got some little bits of nice heat shrink, so coloured heat shrink, that's quite nice, quite useful little bits and pieces there. And what we've got here, that looks like an ESC. Let's have a little look at what this actually is. Come on out, there we go. Yeah, some little ESCs. Doesn't say whose they are. Furling 32, so these would be 32-bit ESCs. Well, they might be 32 amp. Doesn't say. So we'll have to find out what these are. I will do some research and see if I can find out what they are. So that's one of those. Hopefully there's a few more, because one ESC on its own is not that useful. 1, 2, 3 ESCs. There we go, 4 ESCs. So a set of 4 ESCs, that is a really good thing to have in boxes, because they are very useful things to have. So 4 ESCs. Set of Dell Cyclone 50/50 props. I think these are in almost every mystery box there is, because basically they're the go-to props for most people. Yeah, so 2 sets of those. Some of the sheathing for putting your ESC wires in there, so that's quite nice. I haven't actually used this before on any of my drones. I am actually about to build a new one, so I might treat myself to using these actually. Another one of those stick ends. A VL Finder. Is it a VL Finder one? It's another battery buzzer. Now, I've got probably about 3 of these already. They are really useful, and when you have what I had the other day happen, where I had a battery eject and nearly lose my quad, these are incredibly valuable. So I would definitely recommend fitting these. This one's quite big and chunky, but they're great things to have. So again, very useful, and a good length battery strap. There we go. So Unmanned Tech branded battery strap. So that's what you're going to get in the box. So 4 ESCs. battery strap, your ESC wires, some heat shrink, your stick protectors, a battery, some props, hopefully you can see all these, some stickers, hopefully they fit in the range, there we go, some Haribo, and some braiding to go around your wires. So let's go back to my desk and we'll go and top this up and see what value we're getting. Okay, so let's talk about what's in the box. Now, just to catch people up and remind them how I do this, I use UK-based prices, so I'm trying to be fair as possible with the prices. I'm approaching this the same way as I'd approach the drone bit boxes I'm already doing. I'm also looking at this from the perspective of how cool it is, and that's my personal opinion, how cool I think it is. So, very, like, useful things that I like, things that I think are really cool, like I had some hats from the other ones, I've had some t-shirts, so those types of things, and usefulness is usefulness to me, how useful I would find this particular thing in my situation. So if I got, for example, a FrSky receiver, that would be no use to me whatsoever. So let's go through what's in the box. So stickers get a standard scoring of 7. I don't like stickers particularly, but some people do, so I'm not trying to be unfair to them, so stickers always get a 7 whatever happens. Battery straps, useful, handy. You can't have enough battery straps, they always end up breaking, and Unmanned Tech ones are pretty good. It was a good length one, so I don't like those short ones, they're pretty crap, you can't use them for much. The gimbal protectors are FrSky gimbal protectors. Now I've already got some of those for my Taranis up here, so I don't really need them, so they're not that useful for me, but they are quite cool. They are quite cool, pretty looking ones, and they're nicely 3D printed, so I can't complain, but they're not for me. Heat shrink, little bits of heat shrink for doing cables. I have loads of it already, but it's relatively useful. It's not particularly cool because it's heat shrink, it's not exactly exciting. Paracord, now Paracord is quite cool because I'm actually about to do another build which will be coming out in the next couple of weeks, and I saw that and went, it's perfect to go with the colouring of what I want to do, so it might look really, really sweet when I do it. So really cool and really useful. Perfect timing for that to come in. The ESCs. So I did a little bit of a looking up on this, and they are Airbot Fluring 32-bit ESCs, and they're 35 amp ESCs. So they will run up to 6S. So they are really, really useful ESCs to have. So I don't know of the quality. I have to admit I haven't used Airbot ESCs. I tend to use SpeedX, or I use DYS, or Little Bees, which I don't use really anymore. I think I've got one quad that has Little Bees on it. But a 32-bit is great. 35 amp is great, and having 4 of them is great. That is really good value for money. That's £48 worth of ESCs you're getting there. So I cannot complain by that. So they are very, very useful and pretty cool. They would be cooler if they were a brand that I knew, like so let's say they were SpeedX 32-bit ESCs. That would be perfect. But these are pretty good. Really happy with those. They come with the wiring kits, which are like £1 each, so they're pretty handy. You always need those little bits of wire, so they're there. Not a massive problem. They're quite good. Dal Cyclone 50/50 props. I have loads of them. I will not score them badly because I always like having props. I would rather have more props and keep them spares. You can't have too many props unless you keep getting given really bad ones. Dal Cyclone props are great. They are go-to props, and in fact most of my quads have got varying ones of Dals on them at this moment in time. And finally, the buzzer. So I actually had one of these in my last month's drone bit mystery box. So I've been consistent, I think. Hopefully, they are. Well, they're slightly. It's a slightly cheaper one, actually. Apologies, it's not the same. It's a slightly cheaper one, and I've scored them pretty much the same. They are very, very useful. I have had a fail-safe issue with that quad, I think it is, where I needed a buzzer and I hadn't fitted one. But I hadn't fitted a battery-powered one and nearly lost the quad. So battery-powered buzzers are great. That one's quite large, but I'm sure I can fit it into one of my builds. So a good thing to have in your box. So overall, I'm really happy with this box. For a first box, it's pretty good. So if you take the whole price of the box, which is £43, 45, you've got around about £70 worth of, just shy of £70 worth of gear in that box. The reason it's £43 because it's including delivery. Now the drone bit box doesn't include delivery because it's included in the price. So there is a difference of about £7.50 of between the two. So so I've reflected that in the price. So you're getting about a £1.60 per pound you spend, which is bang on where I'd expect these to be, and that is really good, the right sort of place. The usefulness is 7.3 of the overall box, so it's funny. So I've got obviously the statistics across all the boxes, and they often end up sort of in that sort of range. There's normally a sort of sixes and fives, and so overall it's about exactly where I'd expect it to be. So I just wanted to compare it to what I would get in the drone bit mystery boxes. So when I look around it's sort of on the same sort of value as the better drone bit mystery boxes. So that's really good. The coolness is pretty much in line, and the usefulness is pretty much in line. So overall, you are spending a little bit more money. You're getting a good value product, so I'm happy with the value I'm getting out of it. You are able to return it. Am I going to return it? No, because I really want those ESCs. I've got an idea to build a quad soon of bits made out of bits that I've got lying around, so some kind of Frankenstein quad probably. So that's quite good, so happy with those. So overall, for a first foray into the wonderful world of monthly subscription boxes, even though it's not a subscription box, this is actually a really good place to be. So I am really happy with this box. So well done, Unmanned Tech. I should be shortly getting the drone bit mystery box for this month, so hopefully that is equally as good. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you haven't seen my content before, I do stuff like this, and I do building quads and reviewing various bits and pieces. For those of you who've been watching my content for a while, apologies, it's been a bit slow recently. I've been away for work and it has been crazy, but I have got some nice little things floating around. So I have an R9 module somewhere. I have a little Beta FPV 2S Tiny Whoop sitting up about here, and I've got some Foxy Falcor coming, and I've got some other cool stuff coming as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all next time.